So, hello everyone, how's it going? It is Tuesday, it is stream day. We've not even started and you guys are on the eels, come on. Interesting. I need to fix something. That would be it. There we go. We have a game now. There was a problem, Richard. I forgot how to set things up, but we should be good now. So how is everyone doing? If you're in the UK, actually America, you had kind of bank holiday too. How's everyone's weekend? Long weekend. Today, I'm gonna show you some new species action. Des will be joining me shortly, I hope. He's probably doing dev things. So we'll get on to so yeah, this is the new UI you'll see in the menus. Just flick through that quickly. The customized menu now is all grouped into one, so you won't have a shop and customize it. It'll all be in one menu. There's maybe at the pub, you know, it is Tuesday afternoon. So let's get started. Just gonna go on some Boulder. I'll try to catch some of the new species. Boulder has the... Pretty sure Boulder has all three of the ones for America. I'm okay, I'm tired, it's been a busy day. Catching up after a long weekend. How you doing, Scooby? What's your favourite lake, Frank? That's cool. You see we've got some updates going on the fish finder and the map area up over there. Over there. I don't actually know where I'm driving to. I'm in this direction. Does this won't have mouse control. You had a good time on the road lake then, Richard? How do you do your ribs in that? Okay. I hope they get better soon, Scooby. Alive, this is just one of the already existing ones. This is Boulder. In the next few weeks we'll start showing the new lakes as well. I was going to try and show career mode today, but that needs some more polish on it, and then hopefully next couple of weeks that'll be able to be shown as well. the barbel. I'll do that in a bit then. Do first part bass, well, first part America, try and get some catfish and trout. And then later on go for the barbel. Hello Raleigh, how you doing? I don't have my phone on me, so I can't even remind Des to be here. Fish finder's getting improvements. This kind of displays everything a bit better now. Okay, there were a lot of fish over this way. Where did they go? Thanks, Jay. Dead bait only tournaments. I don't think we'll have the power to kind of, or the option to do that kind of restriction. But it would be cool in future to start having like equipment restrictions. You have a rainbow trout on. Or is that a bass? No, that's a bass. Rainbow trout as well do, well, both trout species do jump a bit. Little smallmouth. Desmond. Desmond has joined us.
Hello, greetings everybody. How you doing? Catching anything?
Caught 2 bass so far.
Nice.
Yeah, very impressed with the new UI.
Cool. Yeah, I just loaded it up on YouTube and saw a few comments coming in that people were enjoying the new look, so that's good to hear. Good to hear. Hi Big Timer. Hi Scooby Hayes, right Daft Badger. Alright Richard. Good to see all the regulars back. So yeah, the UI is a lot cleaner, a lot slicker, a lot more modern looking. Got rid of those old photos in there. And yeah, that's just and then in the obviously the in-game HUD here is cleaner as well. So bit more colour on the fish finder. I've also fixed something with the fish finder so it scales a bit better across some of the lakes as well. So you get a greater variation in the depth displayed because I've set the scale on the fish finder to the lakes a bit more accurately, so that's good. Still lots going on behind the scenes, but yeah, good to be able to show you some of it. Right, so we've got hi Chad, how you doing?
Being weird.
What's weird?
It's only showing part of the... I'm on controller, but it's got a keyboard.
Has it always done that?
No. What's the grid about the yellow? Huh? Oh, up on the depth in the fish finder?
What's he talking about on the casting? On the casting meter?
Oop. I'm not sure. Richard, let us know what you mean by that, because I'm confused.
Jake's asking if you will get to play as Ali Hamidi. No, you will always play as yourself in the game. It's just people like Ali and Scott and the other pros that we've got in the game will be your opponents when you're playing through in career mode. Yeah. So not playing as them, but competing with them, and obviously aiming to beat them. Cool. So we must probably got quite a lot of new viewers with us this week. Some of you haven't seen me before on here. So I'm the producer for Fishing Sim World, and so hit me up with any questions you've got. As I always say, it's great to hear your feedback, great to hear your questions, and hear about what new stuff you want in the game. It's always great to get a bit of abuse from Scooby and the boys taking the mick out of me, but that's fine. It's all good. It's all good. Not been at the pub today. I don't go to the pub during work time, so I don't know where that rumour started. So yeah. So Frank's asking, what are all of the fish that are going to be added? So hopefully we'll catch I think. There's some new fish got into Lake Boulder. So in here we've got brown trout and rainbow trout added.
I think I might have a trout.
I think you might even have a trout here. I think it was possibly a bass. And we've also got the channel catfish in here as well, I believe. So
That looks like a trouty boy.
could be a trout. There we go.
There we go.
So there's a bug here which I've just fixed actually, but what you'll see in here is it's listing this as a 4 pound trout. Obviously that's larger than a 4 pound trout. So we've addressed that. Well, my artist has changed the curves today, so I need to go back. I was just about to actually start playing it and reviewing it when I remembered. It's 4 o'clock. It's stream time, so I thought I better go and give Stephen a hand on here and join you guys. But yeah, there you go. One of our little trout there for you, or not so little. He was, yeah,
Decent size.
decent size. So the trout will can actually jump out of the water as well, a bit like the bass. Not as often as the bass, but the trout can jump. Yeah. Josh is saying about the wheel not turning when you're steering. So yeah, just the hands rotate around the wheel. That has been bugged, and I believe the same man I had who's fixing the trout has also fixed that one. So don't worry, Josh. That is on our list to fix. Okay. What's the top weight for the trout? I don't know all these numbers off the top of my head, but I might be able to look at it on my phone. Is it rude of me? Is it like looking at your phone when you're on dinner, when you're having dinner, to looking at your phone when you're live streaming? Let me see if I can pick that up.
Soul Reaver shirts I'm sorting out this week. I meant to do them today, but it's just been a busy day, so I'll be getting them ready for posting tomorrow.
So Richard's saying that the king of jumpers is the salmon, of course. So yeah, salmon is something is in progress. It's not going to be there in July, but it will be coming soon. Right, what am I after? Fish weights. So I'm not going to give away the top weight of the named fish, but I can give you hopefully a little insight into the top weights of the trout on the specific lakes. Let's just see if I can pull up the boulder file. So as always, the guides we use for where to place the sort of top weight fish are, the state records for the states, or the location for where the lake is. So that's what we use as a guide. So on this lake, the brown trout, the brown trout will go up to 22 pounds. And the rainbow goes up to 13-12. So yes. That's all right, Richard. Do you have a dog? I don't have a dog. No, I've got some cats. But is he talking to me? Is he talking to someone else? Okay. Right.
Or is he asking if we have a dog in game?
No, we don't have any pets in the game.
Need a boat dog.
Right. Are we going to be updating the website for all the info and the maps with the correct species and lake records, Stephen?
Dovetail Live will be getting updated.
It's getting a fresh new look, isn't it?
Yeah, it's coming very soon. So yeah, we're working on that at the moment. It will have a section listing all the lakes kind of in one page, one place. A little bit about each one. So yeah, keep an eye out for that.
So Mattio's asking me why walleye eat on topwater lures. I can have a look into that. So in your opinion, Matteo, the walleye wouldn't take a single topwater lure? That's something I can double check and see what the settings are in the game. Basically, every single lure and bait that's in the game has a list of all the species, and then we can balance what weight of each species, or like what size of each species can take any specific lure. So if anybody, there's a whole lot of there's obviously lots of different baits in the game and loads of fish species in there. And if you've ever got any feedback on, if you think something's wrong or you think something's not accurate, then do let me know, and I can make those adjustments. Collectively out there, you're going to have you guys are going to have a lot of knowledge about fishing in the real world. So I'm open for all of that information. I've only got the option of whether it can or can't take a specific bait for each lure, rather than it's got a much slimmer percentage chance of taking it. So at the moment it's kind of on or off for a particular bait or lure. at a particular species size. But do let me know if you do think any of them are, factually incorrect, that a species are taking the wrong bait. Big Bass TV, I see you're asking a question there about the D bomb. Can you just maybe rephrase that again, so I get a bit of a better understanding as to what you're asking me there. So with the fish finder, obviously what you can see in the top corner is you've just got a little blue section in the top, which is the depth of the water where Stephen's boat currently is. Now, the whole scale of that section, down to the red bit at the bottom, is set by the deepest part of the lake. So, because we're on Lake Boulder here, it goes down, I think, to about 164 foot deep in the deepest part, which is why in the shallows here, we've actually only got that little bit visible on the left, the top left there. But where a lake like Lake Johnson, for example, there's as I was saying earlier, the scale is set up. Press the button. So it will display a lot more of it. Ah, right. So what's actually happened there is one thing we're doing for you on these American lakes that were previously in the European lakes but not in the US lakes is putting named fish into the game. So there's still some work to be done on that. So the fish species is in, the fish have been put in as listed, but they're not actually sized yet. So what you're seeing at the moment is work in progress stuff that we're still doing, which is why Stephen managed to catch that fish, but it displayed as there was nothing there, and the guy was holding nothing. So I was happy to see that was a named fish. It wasn't just a normal fish. Nice cast. But yeah.
The joys of playing development builds.
Oh dear. There's nothing like going on live streams to, find bugs and stuff. So it's always good. Dipsy Doe's asking, in tournament mode, is there a way of seeing what species you can seeing what species you just caught? So yeah, if you press the pause button, well, that will stop the clock, and then if you can go into the catch summary screen, and it will show you the species that you just caught. And we have a new look catch summary screen actually. Why don't you give them a look at? Open that up, Stephen. So this is what I mean. So what you can see here is that Stephen's just caught Reggie, and the fish icon on down the lower right there is showing that it's a named fish, or like one of the named trophy fish. And it should also be flagging up if it's personal best as well. That might still be a bit of UI work to be done. So we'll get there. Okay.
The tutorials are also getting reworks to kind of support the new UI changes and.
Yep. So the other new species coming in here are going to be the channel catfish mohawk. We've also got the barbel coming in. Well, it's in there. It's in the build already. And then there are more coming as well in another lake, which will be possibly the subject of its own special stream, I would imagine.
Yes, very much so. Let's see.
So Christo's asking if there's new boats coming to the game. There will be new boats coming in the future, but there's no new boats coming in this July update. So more news on that one, I can tell you. So, Coach Grizzle's asking if we've added Lake Guntersville or Gunnersville. Yes, Gunnersville is in and is fishable at the moment. Don't know whether we'll get there today, but or whether what your plans are for the future streams we've got coming up, Stephen. Have you got a?
Today I was going to do a bit of Largo or Canal after this. Catch some barbel.
We could do a catching a barbel, couldn't we? Yeah, that'd be good to see. So, what's up?
I'm just thinking about the order of the lake select screen.
It doesn't matter. So Boom's noticed that when you reverse the boat, the motor turns the wrong way. We do have a bug in for that. I don't believe it's been fixed yet, but we do. That is in our bug database. Big Bass TV's asking for Lake Cumberland. That's not currently in the game or on my short-term radar, but I'll have a little look into it. Few people asking about the eels again. No, we still don't have eels. Oh. There we go. That's a little walleye. So Mohawk is asking about career earnings in the current tournaments. Now you're gonna have a lot of in the career mode that's going into the game. You're going to have so many tournaments to play. There's probably over about 140 tournaments across the amateur, pro and elite leagues, so you're not going to be short of gameplay and events to win, medals to get, trophies to get, so it should be a lot of fun. I haven't got any further since last Tuesday, Scooby. I haven't got any further on the stock pond discussions. We're fully busy on the career mode and the new lakes, I'm afraid. So I can't take you any further on that down that path. A few people asking for right-handed characters. I would also like, it would be great to have that customization and be able to allow you to personalise it and have both left and right-handed. It's quite low priority for us at the moment because what we're trying to do is add to the simulation and all the content that you guys keep asking for. It is going to, it would end up being a purely cosmetic thing and not actually make any difference to the gameplay. So it's not something that's on our short-term radar at the moment, but it is on a list. It's just not being worked on at the moment for the right-handed, left-handed options. Jackson's asking if there's been any talk with any of the major bass organisations to add them to the game. as I understand it, I believe that some people have, our all I can say is our announcement last week has created a bit of a buzz in the world of fishing, and a few people are sitting up and taking a bit more notice than they were previously. So lots of exciting stuff we're going to get to do in the future, and it's going to be great. And as I keep saying, for all you guys that are on board early with the game and have already got it, all this stuff's going to be coming. There's going to be so much stuff coming for free, not only in this July update that we're making for you, but as we continue to develop the game and add new features. So much stuff is going to be going into the core game experience for you. Whether that's new fish species, new tackle, multiplayer enhancements, more live events and tournaments for you to enter. New brands. So what comes out in July is by no means the end of the road for fishing. Fishing sim world. We're going to keep adding stuff and keep improving that experience for you. So get involved in the community. Let us know what you're liking. Let us know what future features you want, and I'll do my best to get them in there for you. It's a big part of my role here at Dovetail is the prioritisation of what gets worked on and in what order. I could see somebody asking for kayak fishing, which is again something that we'd really like to do. I've got a venue in mind for the future that would really lend itself well to a bit of kayak fishing. So it is something I'm looking to do. Okay. So the map room on YouTube is asking about character customization. We've got an overhauled character customization screen in the July update, and in our career mode, you have your tournament jerseys, which as you progress through career mode, you earn sponsors, and those sponsors go on your shirt. And it gives you the option to wear a hat and glasses at the same time, which has been a long time coming. So you will be able to wear shades and a hat at the same time. And
technology.
And
folks.
then as well as using your whether it's your bass career outfit or your carp career outfit, because they're different, because you're going to have you could have different sponsors, for the carp side of the game to the bass side of the game or the predator side of the game. And you'll be able to choose whether you go freedom fishing or whether you go online with your friends, and you can choose to wear your career mode outfit, so you can show off to your friends as to how far you've got in career mode and the cool sponsors you've got. So that's good. Richard's asking if I caught his question. No, I think it's. Oh, was it about the Welsh? Yeah, it must be Richard Jones. He's got to be. I did see that. Yeah, we haven't got in the short term any Welsh lakes or locations coming up, but I'm sure we will get there. We will get there. Okay.
Ooh, maybe something to point out. In the American lakes now, before it used to be a case of they had non-named trophy fish.
I already said this.
Did you? I don't pay attention to what you're saying.
Yes, we've got named fish in the American lakes, in the US lakes, in the big lakes. So
I was going to say you have either or now though. So you got named or just based on its weight.
Yes, that's right. Yeah. So yes, there will be specific. The biggest ones in each species will be named fish, and you guys are going to have to hunt them down and find them and try and catch them. So a little bit more gameplay for you there to go hunting and try and catch all those in the old game we used to call them boss fish. Like the trophy fish they are. So got another request in there for the polarized glasses. That is, again, that's something else that's on our list to add to the future. I really, I don't just, as you correctly say, to be able to see deeper in the water, and that's something I'd really like to do, is try and enhance the sight fishing in the game. So at the moment, the way the game works is that the fish exist as nodes that travel around the lake, and then different food sources turn on and off, which makes the fish migrate around the lake as you're playing in a particular venue. And then in terms of actually drawing those fish, so that a 3D model appears. Currently, that only appears when your lure or your bait is within a certain proximity to it. Now, one thing I'd really like to do in the future is to, make it so that sight fishing is a real part of the game, and something that you could do. So, if you're walking along the bank, it shouldn't need a lure or a bait to be in the water. You should be able to just look into the water and be able to see if there's, if there's a fish there. And as you correctly say, Soul Reaver, polarized glasses would be great for that. So that would be, that is on our list, and it is something we'll get to. Yes. So Lighthouse is asking what the biggest bass is. So at the moment there's a 16-pound 1 ounce bass, I believe, is the biggest. But there may be bigger named bass coming. So that's going to be something. I don't know whether I'm going to give that away. Actually, I think it might be fun for you guys to hunt them down, and you guys got to share the stories of where you catch these big fish, what their name. Well, you'll see in the UI what their names are, but I want you guys to be sharing the stories, getting involved in the community, letting each other know where you find them, and perhaps even the first people that catch these fish could become, one of the Dovetail Live news articles, and perhaps the story of you catching this fish and where you caught it could be appearing in the game. So, like Catch of the Week or that sort of thing. So, definitely get involved. Let us know where you're catching the big fish. Where you catch those named fish, because there's going to be a lot of them for you to hunt once this update comes out. Remember, you're going to get 3 free lakes as well, so lots of stuff for you to get hunting. And you got another trout on here.
Yes.
Come on, don't lose him, Stephen. Ooh. Scooby wants to see the barbel.
Okay, after this catch we'll go Grand Union.
And Mohawk Killer is asking if we'll ever be adding rivers like the Amazon. All I can say on that one is stay tuned for the future announcements. LJ Glitcher is asking, is there any plans for Australian locations? No plans for Australian locations in the short term, but I'm sure we get there. This is. I'll be open for. I'll be open for good suggestions on Australian venues. So let me know. Obviously, I'm talking freshwater, not saltwater. But let me know what places you think would be good, and and what sort of fish are in there.
It's a shame that the weights are...
Yeah, as I said earlier, for anyone who was watching, the weights on the trout are a little bit off in this build that Stephen's currently playing. This is a dev build, but I've just been sat with my artist tuning this and fixing this, so the weights would be more accurate, because I think that's probably more like a 15, 18 pound trout at least or something. That'll get better.
Let us go to... What do we got on Largo? Barbers are bigger on lager, aren't they?
Probably. Oh.
Cameron Junior.
So Dylan is asking if we could add peacock bass.
Don't need a boat.
I like the peacock bass as well. I really want them in, and I think it's going to happen at some point in the not too distant future. Not July, certainly not July, but we will get there. There's a lot, yeah, and that would actually tie in well, the peacock bass, with the other venue request that somebody else made. So yes, definitely peacock bass. Yeah, beautiful things. So there's on the trailers that you'll have seen, on the announced trailers and the career mode trailers, we got there's that screen that pops up with all the brands that we're putting into the game in there. So that's obviously a big clue as to some of the things that are coming. So yeah, have a look at that. Lots of new stuff coming on it. Draco's asking about Canadian lakes in the future. Yeah, I also want to get to Canada. Not just for the research trip, obviously. I would like, it's Fishing Sim World, and I want to be able to mark off as many places on the world map as we can. So it's just a matter of time, really. We're gonna, as I keep saying, we're going to keep adding locations. Going to keep adding new tackle. Going to keep improving the simulation. And we're going to, yeah.
Oh wait. So I'm just trying to get a mixture of things in my tackle box and not doing it in a smart way.
Sort your waggler out, Stephen. Come on. Right. So Lighthouse, what point system on the leaderboards on Xbox One? Do you mean in the Dovetail Fishing League? Is that what you mean, Lighthouse? Hi Shane, thanks a lot. So the way that the point, I think what Lighthouse is referring to is the points in the Dovetail Fishing League. So each individual event you get a score based on. So a leaderboard at the end of an event is your weight or your total length, and then that gives you your finishing position. Now, and once we score that event, you then get points. So if you were playing in a bass series event on the Big Bass Tour, all those points get added up. So every month in the game is a season for us. So at the end of each season, we then award the whole season. So somebody could be winning the Bass Series, the Big Bass Tour. Somebody could be winning the Predator Challenge, and depending on which events you take part in, you get points from each of those. So obviously we've got the 4 series in the game. We've got the Bass one, the Carp one, the Predator one, and the Match Series. And then, but sitting alongside that is the overall leaderboard for the entire game. So for people that compete in every different series that we've got running there, you've got a chance of competing or winning the overall Dovetail Fishing League Angler of the Month. So I hope that kind of explains it a bit for you there, Lighthouse. It's basically the points that the points track throughout the season. Is that a barber you got on there? Was that?
No, I think it's a brain.
I wasn't really looking. got a carp. So yeah, there's no salmon in the game yet. We've got but we have got some coming. Did you catch a rainbow as well as a brown trout, or did you just catch a couple of browns?
Just 2 brown.
He's doing it. Ooh.
Doing a bit of float
Doing
fishing.
a bit of float fishing. Right. Josh is asking, are any of the bass getting an update? What do you mean, Josh? So yes, so Shane's asking, will the new lakes and gear all just be an update? Yes. So the whole update, the July update, you're going to be getting 3 new lakes. So those are going to be 3 US lakes, and that's going to make it an even 5 North American lakes and 5 European lakes in the core game. So there's an even split there. You're going to be getting 2 species of trout, barbel and channel catfish, and you're going to be getting massive career mode. You're going to be getting the ability to set up your own multiplayer tournaments where you pick the qualifying species. You can pick from the different sets of rules that you want to be playing with in that multiplayer tournament, whether that's the biggest catch. What species was that, Stephen?
There's a trophy.
Right.
Perch, I think.
Is that now? Right. Yes. So I'll continue. So you'll be getting lots more control over the multiplayer sessions that you're running, and all of that will be coming for free. Adding features and stuff like that is not something we're ever going to be charging for. We do. Obviously, we release additional lakes that you can choose to purchase if you wish to or not. Now, if you don't purchase those lakes, they will come round in the Dovetail Fishing League, so you will be able to try them for free. But we're never going to start charging you for content for core feature updates. All that stuff that I said before. It's coming for you free on July the 18th, and and as I said, we're going to keep adding more stuff after that as well. So don't worry about that. Lots of good stuff coming for you.
So I was just seeing how far I prefer the throwing stick.
Are you actually on a? Which is it on a dev branch or is it on the? Can we use cheat commands?
Yeah.
If he doesn't catch a barbel, we might be able to cheat one on. I might be able to cheat one on. So that could work. Ali Cat's asking us to promise that we will never sell to EA. No comment there. But yeah, I'd be very surprised. David M's asking if will carp be going into the US lakes. That is something we've discussed, and I'm sure it's something that will happen in the future. Need to add a few more places, or a few places where you'll be able to fish from the shoreline. And something else we really want to add to the future is a sort of a new type of boat, which is like a floating peg where you can fish with multiple rods at the same time as well. So we will get to that. That's up on our list. So that'll be really good. So Soul Reaver's asking, he's asking, is there any ideas for making a team leaderboard, like a 4v4 or a 2v2 sort of thing, with events, and you register your team for that event? So, all things, there's a lot of ideas that we've got for, improving the multiplayer and improving the online tournaments. So that is certainly something we're considering. So it's just a case of, as I keep saying, it's a case. I've got, we're a relatively small team, right? So I've got to prioritise which things the different engineers and artists and designers work on. So it's a case of, picking the most important things out of the massive list of things we want to do to this game. And I think you might have one here, right?
I think it is.
I think we might have a barbel. Hopefully he holds it correctly when he catches it. I've mentioned there about the big list of things we want to add to the game. 2 people on a boat, as Mixer Blair has mentioned, and many people have mentioned before, is something we really want to do. And it's something I hope to get an engineer working on soon, but it's not something I'm going to get to you in July. Shane's asking for rivers in the future. So the two of the lakes. There we go. There. So there's the barbel. Sorry, there we go. Is this our first look at the barbel?
Yeah. £7.6.
Not bad, little fish. Cool. Right, what you got on run? What bait you got on that one? Do you remember?
A sweet one.
Oh. So the map room's asking how many more places will there be for bass fishing. So in the update, you've got 3 lakes coming for free. So we've got Lake Miller, which is up in Wisconsin, and has a autumn or a fall setting. So it's quite a lovely looking environment that's a bit different to the other lakes. Then we have Lake Travis in Texas, and then we have Lake Gunnersville down in Alabama. Now, obviously, doing the entire Lake Travis or doing the entire Lake Gunnersville it would take the artist absolutely ages to go around and make the environment look beautiful, all around the edge of the lake, and B, it would probably be so big that your Xbox or your PlayStation or whatever would fall over when you try to load a lake that big. Now, what we do when we make one of our big lakes is we actually buy in some world data that's around 8 kilometers squared. So 8 km by 8 km. So the lakes that you're playing, they're over like 2,300 acres in size. So to put that into perspective, the whole of a game like the Skyrim world could actually fit inside one of our lakes. So they're they're giant things. So we have to be careful when we're picking the section of the lake that we're going to recreate, because we've got a number of things to we've got a number of things we've got to consider. One thing, if it's just a giant expanse of water, then just driving across the middle of it, if you've not got the features around it, it can be a bit, it can become a bit boring and not particularly pretty to look at. So we try to pick areas of the lakes which, more attractive, have got, try to have something in the distance, so it just looks a bit better, and that there's more of the lake that has features around the edge, which places that will provide structure and good fishing spots for you to target. So sort of comment there about the barbel. So what we have in the game when you catch a fish is lots of different textures and patterns that get loaded on. So this is why a lot of, there's a lot of variety between the different fish. It's not like in other games where every time you catch that one species, it's exactly the same fish, just at different scales. There's lots of different parts that go in to make up each individual fish, and so that texture that you saw on that barbel would have been just one out of a whole range of different textures. Yeah, so this obviously the game is still in QA. Still in QA at the moment. Lots of work still going on behind the scenes. But we just thought we'd give you an early look at some of the new stuff coming. So okay, right.
Welcome to all 1,352 of you tonight. Everyone joined on Mixer. If you're new, I'm Stephen, community manager for fishing. Des, producer for fishing. If you're new, ask any questions you've got. But this is a preview kind of Fish Sim World Pro Tour. It's a massive update for Fish Sim World coming out in July. We're just trying to show some of the new species today, and we'll be showing more of it over the coming weeks.
Yeah, so we could do it. You could do you catching another barbel, I think.
Yes.
Let's see if we got in there. Cool. There's lots of new stuff coming for you. What else we got? So Alex DB on YouTube is asking if there are any Dutch venues coming in the future, and would love an Australian one as well. So I'd definitely like to go to both of those places and do those research trips. That sounds ace. So get those requests in. We have been looking at something. But I can't give you any more news on that. So Alan is asking, what are we doing about the cheating? So we don't have people cheating in our online tournaments. I know there's some people, some of you moan about or complain about people playing the game with multiple accounts. Now, that's not something I can do anything about. That is, that's the platform specific thing. If people have multiple accounts on their PlayStation or their Xbox, according to my league, they turn up as the same as different IDs, and it's not, it would go against platform regulations for me to be sort of blocking people out if they did that. So I'm afraid there isn't really anything I can do about that. But I can assure you that there's no, people that have, everyone that catches, submits a score. They have actually caught all those fish in there. So there's not much more I can do about that at the moment. So Daft Badger and Big Timer J are asking. They're wanting named fish after them. Well, we'll have to see what we can do about that, won't we? We'll have to. Come on, Stephen, sort your strike out. Has he got another barbel? I think it is. The little one. The little barbel. We might have to go. Where we go? So Brassy Bass Boy is asking about an underwater camera. So we haven't got we haven't got an underwater camera at the moment. We're kind of going for the fisherman's view, part of the simulation, rather than going to an underwater camera. The moment you go to an underwater camera, you're sort of giving away exactly where the fish are hiding and stuff like that. And we prefer it to be the sort of the more realistic view that we provide you, whether that's the third person view you see here or the first person view. There you go. How about that barbel? Let's see what I mean. There's a different texture on the barbel there. Little 5-pounder.
Richard wants the moat back in. That was a cool.
Oh, the castle venue. Yeah. There's we have had discussions about whether we can bring any of those venues back, but that's still to be determined.
That was a cool venue. I agree.
Afternoon, Cougar.
How's it going, Cougar?
What's up, Vespid Steve? Right, Brassy Brass Boy wants to know what the trout look like. We have no trout in the Grand Union Canal here, but earlier on we caught a couple of brown trout when we were fishing Lake Boulder earlier. So don't know if we're going to have time to go back to another venue today, are we?
Do that and have a quick go on an American lake.
Mohammed's back. And he's reminding us again that Mohammed's birthday is on the 17th of July. So don't forget to wish Mohammed a happy birthday on the 17th of July. Okay, any more? Wait, what other questions we got? Should we go and see if we can... Should we go and see if we can find another trout for the new people?
Yes.
Should we do that? Undercover ninja.
Sounds like a cool job.
Isn't that somebody? Is that somebody who comes up in the leaderboards?
Oh, I don't know. If it is, that's a cool job title as well.
So, Scooby, I'm sure we'll do a special on that coming up soon. Right. Yes. So Alive's asking, will all the data you have now stay for the update? Yes. So all the stats and stuff you've built up now will stay for the update. And we've also done another task, which a bit of a housekeeping task, which will also ensure that there is a backup of your save file. So if for any reason, so we've had problems in the past where, say you had a power cut or you accidentally pulled the power cable out whilst the game was saving. There were sort of edge cases, but it was possible to sort of corrupt your save file. So now what we do is that we always make a backup of your save file. So if ever you boot your game from July onwards and it detects that the save file that it's trying to load is corrupted, it will revert back to the previous save file. So yeah, that's that. So we've put a bit of a safeguard in there, which is good.
Arnold.
So this screen that you got here, the white box on the right here will have the map screen, the map image in it. So obviously this is still work in progress that you're seeing here. Still, still a dev build, and we're still, I'm going to be going back and working, late into the evening tonight for you guys. So lot still going on, but we just wanted to give you a bit of a preview of where we're going. So that's good. So Cougar's asking about having to re-sign into Dovetail Live occasionally. That sometimes happens, doesn't it?
Yeah. How often are you having to do that? Because if they're like, each session has kind of a time on it. If it expires, it'll ask you to log in again. But if it's happening like every time you go on the game, I'll ask the team to have a look and see if there's something wrong.
So Horny Monster is asked a question, and he's asking, will you be able to bait for pike, or will it always be spinning? So as Darth Badger has correctly pointed out in the comments, yes, we have dead baits coming, which is, yeah, we could have done a bit of dead baiting as well. Maybe we'll save a bit of dead baiting for another stream.
Dead bait needs to be on like Largo or something.
But yes, we have. You have 3 types of dead bait, and you can choose to dead bait with either the whole fish or the head of a fish. And there is also a size 2 hook coming. So in order to equip the dead bait, you will need to have the size 2 hook equipped, and then you will be able to target the catfish and the pike and the big sort of hungry predatory species like that, but without risk of some of the smaller fish that you're not trying to target coming in and taking your bait. So yes, that is coming in July for free along with the rest of it. And Crom is asking if the next update you'll be able to lower the alarm sounds. So what we've done on the rod alarms, you won't have to do that. So what it will do is if you've got 3 fishing rods out and you're fighting a fish on rod 1 and the alarm goes off on rod 2 or rod 3, what it will do is it will give you a beep to let you know that it's gone off. Then it will go quiet for a period, and then it will beep again every 20 or 30 seconds just to remind you that there's still a fish on there. But it's not going to do the constant beep 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 like it's doing at the moment. So yes, we have addressed that. Okay. Yeah, so 18th of July is the date that's coming out. Yeah, we've not done an update for a little while. So this is this lake is Lake Arnold tonic, and this is one of our lakes that you can choose to purchase if you wish, and or if you play in the Dovetail Fishing League, you might be able to take part in events on this lake as well. It's a nice venue. It's got these submerged forests, or these submerged timber around a number of spots along the shore, which provide good spots for fishing in. So Richard's asking, how realistic is the fact you can fish for at least one species using 2 methods? So there's a number of different species that will take both static baits and lures, all based on the real world. So that's we try and get it as accurate as possible. And like I say, if you ever see anything that you don't think is quite right, and you can and you can back up your opinion with facts, then definitely let me know, and I can get it updated. But we try and keep it as realistic as possible. Darth Badger's asking, how big is the update?
Good question.
I haven't got the final numbers on that, but it's probably going to be quite sizable. But there's going to, you're obviously getting 3 additional lakes in there, loads of stuff going in, so lots of stuff going in. We might be able to have a look through the lures actually. in the UI bit there, in the inventory. So JW on YouTube is asking about what the new lures from Hedden and Arbogast are. I will, once Stephen's landed this fish, we'll have a little look in the in his tackle box and in his inventory to see if we can show you. Yeah. What you got there? Little pike. Little pickerel. Oh, it's quite big for a pickerel, that one, actually.
Yeah.
How much they go over? Right, have a little look then. Let's have a look. Right, so some of these ones at the top there are
deluxe.
come in the equipment pack or the deluxe. So we got the Christie, the Yum Christie claws are coming. We've got the bandits. Bandits are coming now. Number of fish from and we got the these are cool. These are from Rebel. These little sort of crawfish looking diving crankbaits. They're good. There's a few sort of sizes and colour variations of those. Keep going down, Stephen. There we go. So we got the one knocker spook from Hedden, and got the Booyah one knocker. The baby torpedo. So in the if you look in the inventory when you're in the front end rather than on the lake here, you get the 3D model of the piece of equipment comes in above and floats above you. We had to turn that off in the lake because of performance issues. But yeah, when you're in the front end, you can see that. So those are quite cool. The baby torpedo has like a spinning bit on the back as well as being a top water. So it kind of drives the fish crazy. Got some beautiful new frogs coming in. For those that love the top water, and this, look, the Smivik Devil's Horse is another cool lure with these little like, spinning propellers on them. And the Jitterbug. There we go. See, I can't remember. I'll have to get my cheat sheet. Yeah, I'll have to remember all this. So that's what we got coming on the predator side. And on the carp side, obviously, and the coarse fishing, we've got a bunch of new baits coming from a company called CR Baits that we partnered with. So those guys have got a load of new baits going in, and we've got, obviously, I mentioned about the dead baits as well. So the Nutrien and the CR specials and the CR ones. Lots of new carp baits going in.
Big one in the hooks.
And we got a couple of size 2 hooks going in there as well. So there you go. Right. Did you put one on?
No.
God, you could have. You what?
Trying to get a trout.
You could have just showed them in the list. The dead bait, Stephen. You could have showed them in the list.
Right, do it quick.
Do it on a different one. Yeah. Where did you do it? So Jaguar Skills is asking if we've considered adding fly fishing. So we have. We've obviously considered it. Oh look, there we go. So you get the. Yeah, I needed. That UI image isn't quite right, but it should have just the head. But yeah. So you got the head or the full fish there to be able to fish with. So Jaguar was asking about fly fishing. We have discussed it. We haven't got it on the short term plan at the moment, but it is obviously something that we want to get to in the future. Obviously, to try and to to sort of get the intricacies and the animation and the gameplay right involved in doing the casting. There's quite a bit of work involved there to do fly fishing justice. So obviously there's lots and lots of stuff we still wanna do. So it's on our list for the future, and I'm sure we'll get there. Yeah, so I mean, there is lots. Yeah, there's a lot. Those trailers are sort of 60 seconds, and there is, there's only, if you hit people with too much in a 60-second trailer, they don't take it in. I mean, I guess the big messages of coming across in the trailer is about the fact we're putting the career mode in, and we got all these pro anglers coming in that you're going to be competing against. But we're always going to keep adding to the tackle and adding to the features and the venues. So so much more coming for you guys. Right. So I hope that answers the questions on dead baits. Brassy Boy's asking if you can get catfish on the lures. Yes, you can get catfish on the lures. You want to be using the lures that either make a noise or would have a smell to them. So something, some of the ones with the rattles in them, or some of the soft plastic ones that are proper like stinky lures. I've got a whole stash of these things in the office, right? And you put them on, you pick them up and you touch them, and then your hands reek. You have to go and have a wash. So I will, so live baits and pike and pike floats is something that's on my list for the future. I have the model done for the pike float, in fact, but I need to do, as I mentioned to you guys last week, I still want to be able to get the full feature of float fishing working how we want it to, so that you can adjust the hook length and decide up yourself how deep you want your bait to be below your float, depending on whereabouts on the lake or that you are fishing. So yes. Has he got a channel one? Well, yeah. That's a dark one. Wow, I've not seen one that dark. That's like a ninja one.
Ninja fish confirmed.
Right. I've caught loads of those. They've not looked like... Not... Yeah. So I'm sure we're gonna get to the. We'll get to the kayaks. Don't you worry. We'll get to them. So the bass have like I was saying earlier, like all the species of fish there's multiple different textures to the different fish, and then there's multiple patterns. So the patterns and then the textures are kind of two different things that get layered on top of each other, and then we have a thing that we call blend shapes. So different parts of a fish may be bigger or larger, and then and when it generates the fish, it kind of picks from this massive pool of available options, so that we try and make it so that it doesn't feel like you're catching the same fish over and over again. So that would be great. Cougar, I did not say that you're going to actually get smelly hands playing the game, but I used to work for a company who made a football game, and they actually had a scratch and sniff thing on the CD. Can you believe this? On the CD, you would scratch the CD. Who thought that was a good idea? Because you can't get any problems with scratching CDs, but you could scratch the CD and it would smell like the grass of a football pitch. True story. It's going back a few years, but true story. Slightly off topic, but you brought up the scratch and sniff tech, so there you go. I thought I'd throw in that little anecdote. Right. So. Okay. The people want another trout from you, Stephen, don't they?
I'm trying.
So for Megalodon at the moment, Fortnite 2, I would recommend sort of, some of the larger boilies. The largest boilies you've got in your tackle box, or your maybe your pop-up tiger nuts even. After the July update comes out, I'll definitely recommend using the dead baits that we've got going in. But yeah, those are my tips for you at the moment with Megalodon. Right. So yeah, Richard's asking if the channels get anything up to the size of the whales. No, the channels don't get up that big. Not as big as the whales catfish we've got in the game, like Megalodon. But we do have some other big fish coming. So we'll tell you more about that on another stream. But there will be big fish, bigger than the whales, coming. Daft Badger says he makes the game more realistic by covering himself with hair gel every time he catches a bream, which is quite amusing. But for those our North American friends out there, they're a particularly kind of slimy kind of fish that, can leave a bit of a residue. Possibly, maybe the same. Yeah, possibly down the same sort of thing as a gar or something like that. Like in terms of feel, I'm not sure, but yeah, funny. Right, any ideas what you got on here, Stephen?
Not sure. A pike or something? It hasn't been jumpy. And it's moving around a lot.
Is that one?
Is that the same one?
Surely it's not. Check your catch summary.
No.
So as I said before, yeah, this is a dev build of the game. This is an early preview of the July update that we're doing. Lots still going on in the background. Lots of work still going on. So there we go. Josh, yeah, all those lures that you saw in there, apart from the ones at the top, were already kind of out there. But yeah, lots, those new lures that we went through and showed you there that I called out and highlighted. Those are the ones that are coming in July. Cougar is asking for everybody else to not fish the bass tournament next week, just so they can win it. I don't think that's going to work. People love it, and it gets more. It seems like it gets more competitive every week, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Which is great. I do like seeing how excited everyone gets.
It's what we wanted the fishing league to be.
Yeah. Right. How much longer are we going to give it, Stephen?
Just have 1 or 2 more casts. One more fish.
Have we actually? I'm not sure if have we put any trout in here.
These were on the lake select, I think.
So when it comes to putting new species into the game, if we put a new species in and it exists in a location where the lake that we've already got in the game is located, then we will go back and put those species in the lake, which is why we've added the trout and the channel catfish to Lake Boulder, for example. So which we try and keep it as realistic as we can based on the locations where we have set the lakes. So this lake should have rainbow trout in, not brown trout.
Okay. How common are they?
They're about the same as common as a northern pike or a long-nosed gar or a walleye in this lake. We could cheat one on. Should we cheat one on? Or should we not cheat one on?
What do you guys think?
Should we cheat on a cheat on a trout? This is obviously just a...
We've got so many tongue twisters in the game.
Scooby wants me to try and catch one without cheating. What lure have you got on there, Levi? What is it?
Using the bubble gum.
So. That might be a bit big. I think the trout in this lake go up to £9. I think maybe a smaller, a little diving crankbait maybe. You could try that. Little rattle trap. So did you set it to? Are we on clear?
You're on dynamic.
We're on dynamic. So for those of you that don't know, the cloud cover and the weather in the game does have effect on which lures are more or less effective. So when it's clear and sunny, the shinier lures are more effective. When it becomes overcast, maybe the reds or the sort of the slightly darker colours, the ones that are kind of maybe create more of a shadow, in the water, will become more effective at those times. So don't be afraid to vary up what pattern or which colour lure that you're using in a given light conditions. Oh, I could go anywhere, Stephen. He's hit it on the button. Yeah, Josh, I answered that already. Yeah, all those lures are coming on the July the 18th update. JW, I can't remember exactly which lake your local one is, but we're going to keep adding venues. But as you see, there's lots requested, so we'll get to as many as I can. Okay, and jigs will be coming as well. I'm in discussions with a partner for our jigs, so that should be coming. What do you mean, Chad? So what's he? Chad's talking about a North American team, Europe versus North America. Are you talking about in the game, or are you talking about in the real world? God, I'm not sure.
Scooby and Jay versus a North American team.
Are they going to battle it out?
Yeah, that's a crappy.
He's got a crappy.
Ryder Cup style.
Mapram, no plan at the moment to add John boats, but there will be more boats and more boat styles coming in the game. Oh, there was something there. So Eric, are you saying a trout would never take a little rattle trap? I think they're set up to take a number of the smaller lures at the moment. You know, the thing with a lot of
Okay, normally would.
a thing with a lot of baits is as we fishing is there's always a chance of hooking fish with the wrong bait. Sometimes they'll just attack out of annoyance rather than sort of wanting to take it. So there's always a chance. Yeah, I see what you mean. Yeah, that's the yeah. So at the moment I'm working on a sort of philosophy that if there's a possibility I kind of let it in, but it's something I want to add a bit more finesse to in the future. Cool. But yeah, all the worms and the soft plastics should work with the trout fine. I set that up myself, so that should be all good. Right. So yeah, Witch 66. The roach will definitely not take tiger nuts anymore. I can tell you that. I fixed that myself. And the bluegill are going to take a few more lures because they weren't, and they'll be able to take things like worm as well. So you'll be able to float from July. You'll be able to float fish for crappie and the bluegill and the perch as well. So obviously the perch were working before, I believe, but yeah. So yeah, I joined Dovetail sort of towards the end of the Euro fishing game development, and then we were quickly onto doing the adding in the predatory fishing and the lure fishing and making fishing sim world. So yeah. So what's his name? Tuckless on what's that? Twitch.
Mixer.
On Mixer. He's if I said the floats will now be adjustable. The floats are not going to be adjustable from July, but it's something I'm going to be getting engineers and designers working on soon as we get this sort of update out the way. So that will be coming in the future. That won't be a paid update. That will be again something that we add for free for everybody into the core of the game. And yeah, so I want you to be able to obviously adjust the hook length. on the float fishing, and I also want to give you control so you can adjust the weight that you put onto, you attach to your worm, and adjust the different ways that you can rig your worms or your soft plastics, so you can choose the rate at which they sink and stuff like that. So definitely, definitely lots of improvements coming on the simulation side there. Strip picks. So yeah, the fish finder, Josh, is pretty much done. I mean, I think I might see if I can move the display where it says the depth and the temperature down to the bottom left rather than the top left, because it's kind of blocking a part of it. But you can see that you can see like what I was talking about earlier, where the scale of the fish finder is set to the bottom of the lake. So this lake is Lake Arnold, is a lot shallower than Lake Boulder we were on earlier. So at 7 foot, you've got I don't know, what was that? 20% of the fish finder working for you to show you what depth the fish are at. So the scale that the fish finder displays is now will now change depending on which lake you're on. Whereas before the July update, it was set to be the scale was set to the deepest part of our deepest lake we had in the entire game. So that's going to be lake specific now.
I'm getting to the point where I think I should just cheat one on.
Yeah.
Like, what was that?
So Darth Badge is asking me if you will be able to plumb the depths when that's added. Now, I've thought about that, but then I thought, well, you don't really need to, because we tell you the depth straight away when you cast something out. So that's currently not in my my plan to add. Chad's asking if we can pin favourite spots on the maps yet. No, that is not something we've got yet, or that will be ready for July, but it is high up on our list of things for us to add. So adding saving points on your map navigation. That is one of the things that... What did you do there? I know the number if you want the species. It's 38. But yes, Chad, you're right. That is something we have long time wanted, and it's also one of the things that our friend Scott Martin has said we need to get in there as well. So adding, being able to save specific points on the map we'll get to it in the future. Like I keep saying, we're going to keep. We're not going anywhere. As long as you guys keep supporting us, we're not going to go anywhere. We're just going to keep making this great fishing game even better for you. Right, Stephen has a rainbow trout on. We know that for a fact, because he cheated it.
Yes.
He's a cheat. So that's
the plus side of using dev builds. We can make things happen.
Right. Come on then. Whoa. He might. So if cheating is only something that you can do in a dev build of the game, because it allows you to bring up that sort of command console. Whereas, if we were to play you guys in a 2-on-2 or something like that, we would have to, in order to be playing you guys would have to be on the live build, we would have to be on the live build, so we wouldn't be able to access that command console from the live build. It's certainly something that we use in the dev environment. You can do other cool things in it. You can set the top speed of your boat to whatever you want, so you can get a 250 mile an hour bass boat, which is always quite fun. Cougar's asking for dynamite. Now, I can tell you that's something that isn't on our list. because we don't want to hurt any fish. Look at the size of that beast. Oh my gosh.
Would that be
So the weight, as I said before, the weight is off for the trout. I've had someone fixing that today, but there you go. There's a lovely rainbow trout in there. So Brant's asking about the line not getting caught round a tree, and I'll tell you why that is. Because it would get really annoying really quite quickly. So we made a design, we could have made it so it got snagged up and you lost the fish, but we just decided that it would actually just be too annoying. And the sort of approach that I try and take with a lot of things in the game is that we want to put we want you to enjoy the fun things about fishing, and not have to put up with some of the something that might be annoying in fishing. So yeah, we don't let you get snagged up around the trees.
We need to put that other version of the trophy catch image in the social groups.
The what?
You need to put the version of the trophy catch.
Oh yeah. We should put that in, shouldn't we? Yeah, we should put that in. Right. So so as I said, that wasn't the scale of that trout compared to the size that it says wasn't an 8 pound. That was coming out much too big for the moment. So okay. Okay. So I see a few people asking me to make the largemouth bass harder to catch. I will have to see what I can do on that front. Might be a bit late for July to make that happen, but it's something that I'm going to look at post July once we've got this big career mode update out the way. So it might just be a case of lowering some of the numbers. We've got a nice new angler's log to show you, but we're going to show you that another time because there's some other cool species that we're going to want to announce and introduce to you, and they look stunning, and I think you're all going to really like it, and I think you're just going to have to come back next time and sort of join us.
Yes.
So anything else you want to say, Stephen, before we sign off?
I think that's it for today. Yeah, join us next week. We're here every Tuesday, 4 p.m. BST, GMT, 4 o'clock UK time. We'll be showing probably more stuff next week. Maybe career mode. We'll see how that goes. Still working on polish for that, so.
The work never stops, Stephen.
No.
The work never stops. Maybe, we get a little bit of time off at Christmas, But, yeah. Right. Thanks again for everyone that's joined us on the stream today. And we'll be seeing you all again soon.
Bye.
Bye. Tight lines.